guys, how's it going? Back at 8:42 here. This is kind of interesting. I'm not sure how it's actually set up, but we'll see. It looks as though if I was to guess, I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm still trying to figure this one out. It looks as though, like, I'll show you. Make sure we're okay there. So the spawn points are a little bit different. It doesn't have... Just trying to think. It looks like it's just an extension to allow the hump, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So I haven't gone through the because if you look at this train, I'll show you what I mean. This is actually, it's an interesting concept because it's got the mixed local stuff, and then all of a sudden you got Chicago. Now this was an AI spawn, so I see different. Selkirk. It's got a combination of both, I guess, is how they're doing it. Different way of doing it, that's for sure. Because I was wondering how the 24/7 is going to work with this, and that'll be interesting because they don't have any other of anything else like Lewitsky. There's nothing coming off of that. Which is, I don't know, from a dispatching standpoint. I guess it's easier if you're running and dispatching, but from a dispatching standpoint, it's kind of make it kind of boring. But because everything's still coming out of the old spawns, I don't know. Let's just take a look. And this is again the RTS Florida server, just to see what exactly they got going on. It's getting dark anyways. Plus, not to mention, I'm the only one on right now. So I don't know how far, and I know there's a lot of stuff that stopped. I'm just trying to get the traffic moving on this one. I got one coming. Might as well get this one going too, I suppose. Get him going. So it's interesting because these are supply trains, so I'm not sure how that figures into their RTS system, or how, you know, whatever's going on. But let me go take a look, and they were saying everything's empty here, so maybe there's more to be added. I'm not sure. Oh, jeez. It's noisier than I thought it was going to be. Just take a look at the hump here for a minute. And I did get the emailed while I was doing the last thingamajig. Okay. Well, I gotta pull from the server, I think. That's what I just pulled pulled from the server. Oh, wow. Jacksonville, Nashville. Track. So I sent the configurations over to, so that if they want to consider it, it's there. This is one of those, I don't know how you say. It's one of those areas where I don't know what the best answer is to that. Like I wasn't too sure when I was kind of waiting for it and thinking, okay, well, cool, this is going to be really neat because we're going to have trains all over the place. But this isn't kind of what I had in mind. Um, Switching's great. I guess I'm taking an opposite approach. Don't get me wrong. I totally enjoy switching. I really do. But this is an interesting approach. But what I may do, depending, we'll see. Um, I think what I'm going to do, and this is probably going to be a pretty short video. I'm thinking right now. I think I'm going to stop this train at Folkestone. I'll stop the other ones, and I know I was bugging them to see, you know, what they were going to do when they got it up and everything. I just wanted to see how it works, but it looks pretty simple. Again, I didn't really get to take a look at everything, so I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes, but it's this is the how would you say? I don't know. I I guess that's I don't know. It's something. It's and I know there's been a lot of work. I don't want to sound too cruel or anything, but to me the you got all this track available to run stuff not only in and out. So you want to take advantage of it. At least I would. But I know there's locals. That's fine, but I don't want to run a short line. Like I wouldn't want to go on. To me, I don't know. And this is the slippery slope you're on, because now you got multiplayer, you got traffic, you need dispatchers. You know, this is where it actually starts. I like how they did that. I'm not too sure how they did it. I imagine they pulled off like an industry thing with industries too. Unless you have the supply come from the same location, it works just like any other local train. So you can't really bridge traffic through it. I don't know. Like I'm looking right now, and I haven't looked at the emails or the traffic files, but I'm looking at these. I can't even take a look at what's in them. But there's a Moncrief northbound. Really? They got Race Pond. I don't know what's coming out in Moncrief northbound. It's a little strange. And then they're coming. They're just popping up on the siding. So I don't know if this is a work in progress or what. I was warned that that part was empty. So, but the server works, so that's good. What's going on? And now that I've started those trains, they're just gonna sit there, unfortunately. But I figured it was something. Those have the RTS. I guess that's from the old save. So you got a combination of new stuff and old stuff. Signals. Let's take a look at the hump configuration one more time. So 767. Z19. TAF. I see Selkirk. I see what else? The other. And this is again, you know, the interesting thing, because I noticed there was a Miami one on there, and I thought, well, Miami coming out of Callahan was going the wrong way. But again, there's not too much else that you can do with the only way you can do it. It almost seems like you have to send. If I was to do it, I would send probably one supply train off of one of these coming inbound, because the majority of your industries are going to be in Florida. which is really it actually works out okay because there's not too many industries here, but it gives you a big enough train that it allows you to work. I think Doctortown. I think that's where I don't know how many industries there are here. There's not too much. It's between here and Jessup is the one local, and I think there's a few industries, and that's it. I think there's 5 that I noticed for sure, but I don't know for 100% for sure. So you can run something off, say the Fitzgerald sub, have it spawn at Bullen Siding, which is one of the spawn locations. So you got 10,000 feet there, so you run this one supply train. You can have bridge traffic, and see that's the other problem too. You get if you run a supply train. Well, here's what would you do it. So there's a few ways. I'm just trying to figure out different ways that you could do it on a 24/7 server. If you were to run, I haven't seen what Moncrief looks like, and maybe I will spawn one and see. Curious what that looks like. Let's see here. I don't know what that is. Moncrief northbound. Oh, that's a unit oil train. What the heck? Unit oil. I don't know what that's supposed to represent. Uh-oh, where'd it go? There it is. That's an interesting train. K479 empty, I think. Oh yeah, so that puts a loaded car on the end, and it's kind of neat. Others. So Callahan, we got the mixed freight, the auto racks of coal grain oil. Moncrief, we just have unit oil. Norfolk Southern, just traffic that pops up. Race Pond, I'm scared to put anything in there, really. I don't think there would be supply trains coming from there, but I don't know. Could check. Since I've emptied those sidings out now, it's gonna all meet at. Let me take a look. I thought there'd be more people on. I don't know. Race Pond siding, so I want to do the mixed freight. Spawn one there and just see what it looks like. What is it? In the right area? Well, that's north Race Pond. Okay, I want to go south. Not too sure what GJK is. So let me try Race Pond again. Okay. New Orleans, I think. So these are just AI trains, really. So I would imagine. I could try the Callahan sub one more time. See? Maybe I got on something and it looked to me like it was a genuine spawn though. So it looks like Callahan mixed freights are going to be the yeah, that's the other thing too. The more Asheville, Selkirk, I see a lot of bridge traffic. The problem that you're going to get into, and we already got lots of industries in Florida. Problem if you're getting into the system or getting into how they do it is the more you give it, the more it becomes very random. Because now you're basically giving it I don't know how to explain this. The ones that are looking for the biggest industries are going to go for it. The ones with I had this conversation actually with Mike of Southwest Rails, the former RTS California server, and I talked to him today, and we were talking about this. And the way the random system works for Run 8 version 2, the more you put on a particular industry, the greater chance of the volatility from it. What I mean by that is, say for example, you have close to 100 industries, and some of the industries you have set for 4, 5, 6 cars or whatever every 24 hours, and then all of a sudden you have the ones that have 1 or 2. Because it's not, the random number generator is screwy, what ends up happening is you have more variance. You have more probability of not just from a ratio standpoint of getting more cars per others, but you also have the more probability of getting even more potentially. And you could get less too, but the probability is up there if something does go screwy and a pattern starts forming. You're going to end up getting more of something that you really don't want too much of. It just becomes very volatile and unpredictable. It just goes beyond random. It's crazy. When you have a limited number, then you have at least a fighting chance. But you know, it's actually encouraging me more to get into things. I don't know if I'm going to program tonight. But as I said, if I'm going to program, I think I may try to just put some music on and, you know, just be calm and try to do a few things off of YouTube. I apologize to those that were enjoying it. It was few and far between, but I think that's the way I'm going to go about doing this for now. And we'll see. I don't know. I haven't heard too much other than that the server's up, so it's great that the server's up. Nobody's on right now. Nobody's dispatching or anything or whatever, so I'm not going to. I was gonna see if I think there's a couple people might be. I don't know what the timetables are for people, honestly. So I never know. And that's the problem with 24/7. You never know when people are going to be on, and you never know when the people are dispatching. You don't know unless there's some type of calendar or something. So I don't know. But I'm just going to try to do my own thing for a little while, wait and see till the dust settles, and check out some of the stuff they're doing, and decide what I want to use, and maybe take some of it. Hopefully, you know, I've got some ideas for them. They can take it from there or whatever, and we'll see what happens. But the focus for me is going to be RTS 2. I want to get that set up because that will solve a lot of issues on my end as well. I've got the data now. So what I'm talking about, the data was the data that I went through tonight. I'm going to go ahead and use that data. I appreciate the email being sent to me with the, you know, whatever that's going on here. I haven't really taken a good look at it, but I think I'm going to go with if I'm going to do the single player, which is probably what I'm going to do with my son and I, and I'm going to develop a I'm probably going to beta test RTS 2 on Florida in single player on my own and see. Because for me, it's actually probably has the most potential of all the routes right now to be able to do something with and push it to its limits and see what happens. The industry side of things, it's still going to be the industry side of things. You know, they're going to create the industry tags. The industries are pretty much all set up. I'm going to go with what industries are already set up and take it from there, and we'll see what happens. But anyways, I've been on a lot today, so I probably better off that I'm not going crazy tonight and running all kinds of trains. So nobody else is on at the moment, so I am going to halt tonight, and at least for YouTube and all the rest, as far as I know. So, but yeah, hopefully they'll get something together, or we'll figure out what's going on, or I'll ask a few questions. But anyways, that's all I got for now. I don't know what's going on as far as tomorrow or whatever. Tuesday I will be on California with Mike. I will be dispatching the West End again. I'll go back to that Tuesday, Thursday thing. Keeps me going pretty much for at least the Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we'll see what happens with Florida down the road, and I'll ask some questions and go ahead and keep developing what I'm developing, and we'll see how it goes. So, anyways, short video, but hopefully you enjoyed the other ones earlier today, and I'll let these trains just keep going. Yeah, they're all coming up to Folkestone anyway. That works out. Okay then, that's it for now. Have a good night. See ya.